So let's talk about self acceptance. Like, it took me a long time to understand or even get to that point of self acceptance. And I was really in a loop about a lot of things. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. My eyes gonna be all over the place. I'm not gonna always be forward, like looking into the camera. Like, that's one of the conditions, okay? Um, that's the ADHD for you. But yeah, like when it comes to like self acceptance, like not when you get into a point in your life and accepting who you are, but at first like you have to what do you do? Well, when you about to talk about some stuff, like stuff be popping off in the background. But really like looking back at things. Because I mean most of the stuff of course everybody knows it starts when you're younger. Childhood, it don't have to be. It could be young adulthood, whatever the reasons, or just things that happen in your life where, well, things happen in your life. First they teach us things in life. It starts within your family, and you go off to school, and you just learn a lot of things, and you're being around and being put around all these labels and of nature. So, well, back to what I was saying about self acceptance. Maggie, stop. Um, it's just things about you that you come into acceptance with, but I like a lot of things you cannot change or things that have happened um to you. Just accept certain things and then you pretty much move on. So with that, for me, I really I was on the deep, like really on the deep end, not realizing we all have done it before, with the labels. And over time you just adapting into your environment and you really thinking that's you. And over time, and some people get to that point where they just grounded in that where they feel is them. And I realized over time, like it's not me because of how I was feeling. I was down a lot. I wasn't happy. Um, it just was like a lot of stuff within myself, and plus I didn't express a lot. Um, I didn't express myself because it was more so just the possible responses or more so reactions. And it's just when you're young, you don't know just how people could be. And plus, I'm a sensitive or whatever. Um, I just learned a lot of things through relationships. Uh, my wake up call more so was for me was in like intimate relationships. Those that would really give me like wake up, honey, wake up. And that's when I really started realizing stuff. And then I went on down and I had to put in some work because all kind of stuff just started just going all haywire. And it was just internally tearing me up, like all kinds of feelings and just all over the place and amazing and internal. Like you're internalizing a lot of stuff. And that's the thing, internalizing a lot of things. And like when most things should have been said, spoken upon, and stuff like that instead of leaving it in. When you leave things in, it caused a lot of problems later on. So, but I had to realize some stuff, and I realized a lot about me and people and people pleasing, and but the thing is, naturally, I'm really that person, like helping people, but unfortunately, people take advantage of that. When you out here literally trying to or just want to help people because it's in you, but that's part of the that's why you get put through these tests so you can see who you're dealing with, how far you should go, when you should stop, who you shouldn't help, who you should help, because everybody you can't help, and you can't be super saver. Realizing that too, and sometimes it just sucks. It just sucks, and but when looking back and realizing, because at sometimes you cannot identify things that are happening in the moment until you separate yourself from situations. So it's a lot of stuff I did not realize was happening until after the fact, especially with like manipulation. Ho ho. Listen, full, full, full. I didn't realize a lot of that was happening. And then some of it I pick up on it, you get them feelings, but you just knock them urges. Like those little them subtle feelings you get, you just, but you don't never go out there and all that over time. So yeah, the growth is real, and the process is long, but it's worth it. So back to this is loving yourself and accepting yourself for who you are, and realizing for sure we can definitely change things about ourselves, such as our actions, how we respond, the way we respond, many of those things. But things we cannot change about ourselves, of you can't change your skin color, you can't change the way you look, as far as, yeah, your hair and stuff like that, but your makeup and so forth. Some things you can change and some things you can't. But I just, I was just to that point when people say things to me or I overhear things, I because I heard it repeatedly, I really have believed what was said because I heard it a lot. Whether it's repeatedly from one person or multiple people, I just heard it a lot, and I really have believed it because one, I was younger, and to the time I ain't knew myself. I just wasn't grounded in me, and a lot of stuff just kept replaying and replaying and replaying, and I just had believed it. So I've been through a lot of tests, even though I don't look like it, because that's what people mess up at a lot. They'll look at people for where they are in the moment, or just see these videos, or you just see what somebody got, what they driving, what job that don't mean nothing, because underneath that surface, are you hear me? Is boiling tornadoes and all kind of hot boiling water and mudslides underneath. That's what people need underneath. Don't let that outer layer fool you. Don't let that outer layer fool you, because people are always going through something. Always. But yeah, I'm in that process of accepting things about me, changing things about me, and being okay whether, in this process, whether people I wanna still be around you, come, still support you or not. If it's something healthy for you, and then you realize and making these changes, people kind of distance or maybe not approve of what you're talking about, or just act like you haven't made that change. These are the people you need to distance yourself from and go on about your business. So I'm just saying that as that occur, and don't take it to the heart, and do not stop your progress of your change that you want for yourself, for you. whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, an upgrade of you, you know, on a financial aspect and spiritual. Do what's best works for you, your family, how you feeling within, not nobody else. Too many of us does that because we were kind of like molded to do certain things or whatever, whether it's through the television programming, through the people we surround ourselves with, the environment. When we go off places, we see it and we, don't realize we taking all that stuff in, and then we create our lives how we make it. But over time, if you realize that it's not for you, then it's not for you, and that's just it. So, but just started just accepting you. If it's things you want to change about yourself, change it. If it's things you're comfortable with about you, regardless of who is saying what, remain in you. If you feel like you don't need to change, that's because how you feel, then you stay that way. But just know, the people around you, if they start going whatever type of ways because you make them change, just let them. Just let them. But as long as you are comfortable with yourself, that's all that matters. And that took me a long time, even to now. Sometimes I still be like it's just that real. Because I'm like, what is this really me? Like, it really takes a lot of work. And I'm still studying on it, learning more things about me each and every time. Really doing more research on self acceptance and just myself in general. Most time we don't even really know what we truly want. We'll just see something or see whatever just spark your interest and you go after that instead of like really internalizing what you really need, what your body needs, what you really want, what really sparks your interest, not based on what you seeing out there on the internet, on TV, around and all of that. Like what your heart feels like your heart sings, and you don't know your heart is singing because you don't take the time to really sit with yourself to hear it. Like your body speaks, and I catch my body speaking sometimes, and sometimes they be like, "Girl," because I've listen. I'm getting the help. I'm getting the assistance that I need, slowly but surely. Because when I say a roller coaster of making changes for so many years in whatever area of your life, man, that gonna take some work. That stuff ain't overnight. And if you see that overnight stuff, and listen, maybe either you got some good people or power people, that really pulling strength, but that don't mean, and it may work out on the outer aspect, but not the internal aspect just that quickly, but because it takes time, especially when you have things about you that you need to heal, literally, because you could change something, but that don't mean that internal clock is really speaking what you changing on the outside. Like it needs to match those emotions, those feelings, really work on things that have really put a dent in you, like a dent to your personality, many different things about you that's not even you. So it's just like take the time to learn you, know you, and it's a process. Don't let nobody tell you. Take how long you need, but as long as you get started on it. And this is one of those honesty things, and it's not always pretty. It's not. So do what works for you and do what's best for you. And as long as you keep working towards it, you will get the outcome for you. Got to worry about no time limit, what nobody else talking about, not being on no type of competition and none of that. None of that. Just kind of wing your way out of it because it's going to take time, especially if you were used to that in the first place. So do what works for you and everything will work out for you.